Okay, class. Today we are going to continue with module number 6. Module number 6 divided into two parts. One was a numerical integration, and second is a numerical methods which are used to solve differential equations. Differential equation हमने module number 1 and 2 में पढ़े हैं, linear हो या कोई भी हो. यहाँ पे we are going to learn how to solve them using numerical methods. As per your syllabus, you will have 4 different methods to solve them. Okay. I'll teach you two methods today and two methods tomorrow. So that completes your module number 6. I hope this is clear with everyone. Is everyone with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So let's continue with numerical methods to solve differential equation. Again, I repeat, your module 6, two parts, numerical integrals, which we have completed last lecture, and numerical methods to solve the differential equation. Okay. There are 4 different methods we'll be using or we'll be learning two of them today. So the first method over here is called the Euler's method, the very basic method. Okay, I think I'll have to change my screen sharing type because I have to show your calculator also. So let me just change the screen sharing type. Is the screen visible now to every one of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we start with the very first method, which is a very, very basic method, which is called the Euler's method. Okay, or you can call it as the Euler's method. There are two Euler's method. One is the Euler's method and the second one is Euler's modified method. We just have to understand the formula. Numerical methods के सारे questions जो है वो formula based है and आपको steps याद होने चाहिए मतलब किसके बाद क्या करना है. Okay, that's all you need to understand here. Okay. One more thing over here is ज़्यादा examples PYQs में नहीं मिलेंगे because this module was deleted during the COVID time period. 2019 के बाद से when your syllabus changed. So this module got changed at that, or this module was not included at that point of time. Okay, so hence not many questions you will find in PYQ. We'll have to depend on the PYQs of applied mathematics, जो पुराना syllabus था. ठीक है? So let's understand what is going to happen here and the formula first. Okay. So we are supposed to find in this method आपको एक particular function है उसकी value एक point पे दी है x पे. You have to find its value at the next point. Okay, you have to find its value at the next point. And you need to keep finding the next point repeatedly. Like Euler's method will keep finding the next. So if I know the value at the first point, I'll use the value at the first point to find the value at the second, then the third, and then the fourth, and so on. तो point wise आप function की value ढूंढोगे differential equation के solution की. Okay, that's what you do here. Okay, so that's what Euler's method does. There is another method called Euler's modified method. What does the Euler's modified method do? If I have the value at the first point, it will find the value at the second point first and then try to find a better answer to this same thing. I repeat, Euler's method, first to second, second to third, third to fourth, and so on, we'll keep finding the values. Whereas the modified method will have the first value, move to the second, but then second को refine करेंगे. Second की values को better and better approximate ढूंढेंगे. That's the difference between Euler's method and Euler's modified method. Okay. Let's understand the formula and understand the concepts which are involved in the formula. The formula for Euler's method is yn plus 1 is equal to yn plus h times f of xn comma yn. Now let's understand this. Which are the different terms here and what is exactly happening over here. So You will be given a question in the form of dy by dx is equal to some function of x comma y. Anything. It could be x plus y, it could be just x, it could be just 1, it could be some differential equation is given. तो जो differential equation आपको दिया है उसको आपको dy by dx is equal to function के form में लेके आना है. Okay, that's your step number 1 if it is not in that form. If it is already in that form, you don't need to do much. If it is not in that form, you bring it in the form of dy by dx is equal to f of x comma y. Once you do that, right hand side पे जो function मिला है, that you will use here. That you will use here. Okay? Then, when I said we are going to find the value of y from first point to second point to so on, what is going to happen is you will always have a value of x also. No? Corresponding value of x will also be available to you. So what we'll do is you will have, say, the first point as x naught, x1, x2 and so on. Corresponding value जो function की होगी उसको हम y naught, y1, y2, y3 and so on we'll call them. If you remember the numerical integral method, this difference we used to call it as h. Always the difference will always be the same, correct? ये सारे x0 से लेकर x1 का difference जो होगा same will be the difference between x1 to x2, x2 to x3. All the differences will always be the same. This difference will be your h. This difference will be your h, which is again required in the formula. I hope I'm making myself very clear, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let's understand. At this point x0 अगर y0 की वैल्यू दी है आपको, at the point x0 अगर y0 की वैल्यू दी है and y1 ढूंढना है, तो आप इस फॉर्मूला में n is equal to 0 डाल दोगे. n is equal to 0 डालने पे क्या मिलेगा? लेफ्ट हैंड साइड आपका हो जाएगा y1, करेक्ट ना? n is equal to 0 डालने पे लेफ्ट हैंड साइड हो जाएगा y1, राइट हैंड साइड हो जाएगा y0 प्लस h टाइम्स f of x0 comma y0. Okay, so then you calculate the function and then you substitute the values and you get the answer. I hope this is clear. We'll understand this better with the help of an example. Okay, if the theory part is clear, you just need to remember the formula. You need to apply the formula in the correct manner. So let's understand this better with the help of an example. Of course, I'll require calculator. Okay. So let's look at sum number 1. We are looking at sums on Euler's method. The question goes like this. Method का नाम question में लिख के आता है exam में always. It is always mentioned in the exam, okay? That you're expected to use XYZ method. It will always be written for you. Okay. So the question says using Euler's method, find the approximate value of y at x is equal to 0.1 in 5 steps. Given that dy by dx is equal to y minus x divided by y plus x and y of 0 is equal to 1. I hope everyone can read the question. It's visible clearly. Okay. Now let's understand this question first. इसमें क्या क्या given है वो लेते हैं. We'll use them and then we'll apply the formula what is expected over here. Question over here, when it gives me dy by dx is equal to this, यहाँ पे मुझे directly आपका f of x comma y is given. Is that correct? What is f of x comma y? Yes, students. What is the value of f of x comma y? You can unmute and tell me. What is f of x comma y?
y minus x upon y plus.
Perfect, Anuradha. Y minus x upon y plus x. I hope no one is confused. Your right hand side of dy by dx is equal to जो होता है वो आपका f of x comma y होता है. Okay, dy by dx is equal to के जो आएगा तो उसको आप बोलोगे f of x comma y. ठीक है? So f of x comma y is equal to y minus x divided by y plus x. Okay. Next thing which is given to you is y of 0 is equal to 1. Y of 0 is equal to 1. Now understand this. Maybe we are using it for the first time. इसका मतलब क्या है? I'll explain this. इसका मतलब ये है कि आपका जो starting x की value है, your x0 is 0 and your corresponding y0 is 1. ब्रैकेट के अंदर जो वैल्यू होती है वो x0 की होती है एंड y की जो वैल्यू इक्वल टू में दी है दैट इज योर y0. Is this understood? Clear? Any doubts? Okay. We are expected to reach from x0 to x equal to 0.1. आपको क्वेश्चन में बोला क्या है? आपके पास गिवन है x0 की वैल्यू 0. आपको पहुंचना है x is equal to 0.1 using 5 steps. Using 5 steps. So step number 1, 2, 3, 4 and okay, let me write this above. 5. Is this correct? 5 steps में आपको x is equal to 0.1 में पहुंचना है and remember step की size equal होनी चाहिए. I cannot take big steps or small steps. How do I calculate the step size? Your step size will be your h. So h would be equal to x minus x0 divided by number of steps. So that is going to be 0.1 minus x0 is 0 divided by 5 number of steps we have to take. 0.1 divided by 5 is 0.02. You can check it in your calculator. Now what does this mean? When I take the first step, x1 मेरा हो जाएगा 0.02. When I take the next step, x2 will become 0.04. Every time आप 0.02 increase कर रहे हो. Okay, you are increasing by 0.02 every time. Then your x3 will become 0.06. Your x4 will become 0.08. And lastly, this is nothing but your x5. Did you understand this? Are the steps clear with everyone? Okay. So these are your step sizes, 0.02. You keep increasing by 0.02 every time. Okay, fine. So once we got these steps here, now we will start calculating y. So now understand here, आपको y0 से लेकर y5 तक पहुंचना है. y0 आपके पास गिवन है 1, आपको y5 तक पहुंचना है, मतलब ये फॉर्मूला आपको 5 बार लगाना है. Okay, so let's apply the formula. There are two ways of solving this. One is the tabular method, which becomes a bit easier or a bit better. So we'll go by the tabular method. Okay, so I'll start with the table over here, and in the table I'll first make the column for n. I'll make first column for n, then your second column will be xn, third column will be yn, then we'll have f of xn comma yn, and then lastly we'll have yn plus 1 as per the formula, which is yn plus h times f of xn comma yn. You start with n is equal to 0. n is equal to 0 मतलब x0 लिखोगे यहाँ पे. x0 की वैल्यू हमारे पास क्वेश्चन में 0 दी है and y0 की वैल्यू इन द क्वेश्चन इज 1. आई होप देयर इज नो डिफिकल्टी. n is 0 मतलब ये x0 हो जाएगा, ये y0 हो जाएगा. ओके, नाउ इन योर फंक्शन फॉर्मूला, फंक्शन का फॉर्मूला ये रहा y minus x upon y plus x. इस फॉर्मूला में substitute y is equal to 1 and x is equal to 0. So what is the value of the function? y की जगह 1 डालो, x की जगह 0 डालो. आपका आंसर क्या आ गया फंक्शन का? Come on, not a difficult question. Very good. Answer is 1. Numerator will be 1 minus 0. Denominator will be 1 plus 0. 1 divided by 1 is 1. Okay. अब yn plus 1 के फॉर्मूला में डालेंगे. yn plus 1 के फॉर्मूला में डालेंगे. So I'll get 1 plus 0.02 multiplied by 1. Is this correct? Okay. I'm getting yn is 1 plus h is 0.02 multiplied by f of xn comma yn, which is 1. So let's calculate that and it becomes very good 1.02. 1.02. You got your y1. This is your y1. Now let's substitute n is equal to 1. Let's substitute n is equal to 1. So यहाँ पे हो जाएगा x1. How much is x1? How much is x1? Yes, please. The value of x1.
0.02.
Very good. 0.02. To calculate x1 आपको क्या करना है? x0 plus h. x0 plus h. Okay, all the messages came now. Fine. So x0 plus h करोगे तो आपको x1 मिलेगा. y1 आपको यहाँ पे already मिल चुका है. This is your y1. Okay. So y1 is 1.02. Now what are you supposed to do? In fx, substitute your... Okay, let me open the calculator. Yeah. Okay. In the formula of f, let's substitute numerator as 1.02 minus 0.02 and this entire thing, which is of course 1, I will be dividing by 1.02 plus 0.02 denominator. So answer is 0.9615. My calculator is fixed at 4 decimal. 0.9615. Did every one of you also get the same value? यहाँ पे y1 आ गया. अब y2 कैलकुलेट करेंगे. y2 कैलकुलेट करने के लिए as per the formula 1.02 plus 0.02 into 0.9615. Okay. So let's do the calculation. This already is there with me. So I'll multiply this with 0.02, which is your h, plus I will add y1, which is 1.02. Now your answer is 1.0392. 1.0392. Okay, that's your y2. Let's move on to n is equal to 2. When n is equal to 2, you will get x2. x2 आपको कैसे मिलेगा? x1 plus h. Is that correct? And that is going to be 0.04.
0.
0.04. And your y2, you will put it here as 1.0392. f की value calculate करो. f की value calculate करो using your calculator. The numerator now would be 1.0392 minus, we'll have 0.02. No, we'll have x2, right? That is 0.04. And I'll put a bracket. and this entire thing divided by 1.0392 plus 0.04. 0.9259 multiply by 0.02 and plus 1.0392. You'll get 1.0577. And trust me, आपको सारे steps दिखाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. I did the steps for y1 and y2 just for your understanding. If you do it directly in the calculator and just keep filling the table, it's okay. I hope you're understanding this. I hope everyone is clear. Come on, continue doing this.
Yes.
Okay. And try the values of x3, y3, and x4, y4. Come on, do it on your own. Use your calculators and tell me the values. I'll give you 2 minutes to complete this. This will be 0.06. This will be 0.08. And I don't think ये calculation करने की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी. Because यहाँ पे ही आपको y5 मिल जाएगा. This is y3, no? Here you will get y4. And here you will get y5. Your target is to find y5. Okay? So you will already get it here. So this is 1.0577. Come on, do the calculation. Did you all get the value of y4? .892. Always find it to 4 decimal साकेत. 3 decimal में नहीं रुकना है. .8926 आना चाहिए. Check करो. How many of you getting the same value? Okay. Good. Now you need just to find y5. You just need to find y5. Calculate y5. What is the value?
0.9461.
0.94. यहाँ पे बुक में कुछ अलग आ रहा है वैल्यू। अच्छा एक मिनट, ये जो 0.8926 है वो इसका वैल्यू है, करेक्ट ना? Is the value of the function, and then what is this coming to? This is wrong. That's the value of the function. What are you getting the y4 value as?
1.0756.
Correct, correct. 1.0755 आ रहा है. Now go for y4 is here 1.0755. Maybe little louder. Yes. I am not able to hear you. I'm not able to hear you at all. You can type your query.
1.1290.
1.1290. Check, check, check again, please. Zero point 8615 is correct for F. And what about YN? 1.0927 is correct. And this is your final answer, Y5. This is what you wanted. Okay, you're getting 2.8. Fine. First two decimals correct. You should get the answer. Ashmita, 0.8323 is way beyond. Okay. Calculations check कर लो. I hope the Euler's method is clear. I hope the Euler's method is clear with everyone. Okay. So what is going to happen is every time the function will change. The function will change. Okay. F of x जो होगा, f of x comma y, that will change. Everything else is going to remain the same. In some questions, they'll directly give you h. In this question, h was not given. Okay. So depending on what is the question, you should be able to modify and solve it further. I hope this is clear with all of you. Now, if this is clear, we'll move on to the next method, that is the Euler's modified method, which is also known as the Ranjikutta method of second order. Okay. So we'll move to that. Okay. So we'll go for Euler's modified method. Also called the Ranjikutta method of second order. कोई भी एक नाम एग्जाम में लिख के आता है. When I say this is second order, आपके पास fourth order का भी एक method है. So you don't need to get confused. Okay, you should know the difference in the name. Okay, one is Euler's modified method, also known as Ranjikutta method of second order, and the second is the Ranjikutta method of fourth order itself alone. Okay, so as I said before, Euler's method क्या करेगा, एक के बाद एक values निकालते जाएगा. Euler's modified method क्या करेगा, it will find one value and then refine it, make it a better approximation. How does it do that? There are two set of formulae. Formula number one, what will it do is, step number one rather I can say, okay. Step number one, it will find yn plus 1 using Euler's method. Step number one, it will find yn plus 1 using Euler's method, meaning we will be using first this formula, yn plus 1 is equal to yn plus h times f of xn comma yn. Okay, everyone knows how to apply the formula. Step number two, now you will find its iterations. Iterations are better values or better approximation of the same value. Okay, you start approximating the same value but in a better manner. How do you find these iterations or how do you find the approximation? The formula is whichever yn you are working on, जिस पे भी y1 पे वर्क करो, y2 पे वर्क करो, जिस पे भी, okay, उसका k plus 1th approximation will be equal to h by 2 times okay, इसको n plus 1 ले लेते हैं, f of xn comma yn plus f of xn plus 1 comma yn plus 1 kth approximation here. Okay, this could be little confusing. What is happening here? Let's understand. First, we apply Euler's method. If suppose x naught is given, y naught will be obviously given to you. Using Euler's method, for x1 you calculate y1. This is your first approximation of y1. Now you will approximate it again, means you will find the second approximation of y1. This is y1 approximation number 1. To find the second approximation of y1, k की जगह पे आप 1 डालोगे. Step number 2 का जो formula है उसमें k की जगह पे आप 1 डालोगे. So left hand side will become second approximation. Right hand side पे आपको जो values डालनी है, we'll understand it with the help of examples here. Okay. So you may note down the formula and then we'll start with the sum over here. And here, maximum they'll ask you 2 steps, maximum. If they ask you 2 steps, it could get into like, somewhere around 8 marks question. But if the calculation is simple, it could remain still as a 6 marks question. When I say maximum 2 steps, मतलब y1 and y2, maximum. उसके ऊपर नहीं जाएगा. Okay? So let's understand this with the help of a sum. The question goes like this. Use Euler's modified method. To find y at 0.1 for dy by dx equals to y minus 2x divided by y. Given y at 0 is equal to 1 and taking h is equal to 0.1. Now observe the question. Tell me what is your f of x comma y in this case? F of x comma y.
Y minus 2x by y.
Correct. Y minus 2x by y. Your right hand side of dy by dx is equal to. Okay. Yes, very good. The right hand side of the dy by dx is equal to. Okay. So that's your f of x comma y. What is your x0? What is the x0 value? Come on. X0 is Aditya 0.1 or 0? Very good. It's
0.
0. 0. And what about y0?
0.1.
No,
No, 1, 1.
y0 is
Sorry,
1.
sorry. 1, 1, 1. 1, 1.
And what is your h? Directly given है 0.1.
0.1.
हाँ. अब आपको क्या करना है? y1 ढूंढना है. See, what are you supposed to find is you are supposed to find y at 0.1. तो जब x 0.1 मूव करेगा मतलब x1 बनेगा वो, तो corresponding value y1 बन जाएगी. आपको y1 ढूंढना है. Is this fine? You are expected to find y1 here. Okay. Again here, let's understand the number of steps are not mentioned. So when do you stop over here is generally when your numbers start repeating or your decimals start matching each other. They might mention stop after 2 iterations. They might mention stop after 3 iterations. They might ask you to stop after 2 decimal places, correct to 2 decimals. Meaning decimal के बाद the first two values same आनी चाहिए. If they ask you to stop after 3 decimals, you will stop after the 3 decimals become equal. If they don't mention, continue till all 4 decimals become equal. I repeat, if nothing is mentioned, continue till all 4 decimal points become exactly equal. Okay. Now, once we have got this, step number 1, let's use the Euler's method. Step number 1, we'll use the Euler's method. To apply Euler's method, I'll write down the formula. By Euler's method, my yn plus 1 is equal to yn plus h times f of xn comma yn. Because I'm going to calculate only one value, I'll not make a table. I'll just put n is equal to 0 here. So left hand side becomes y1, right hand side becomes y0, h f of x0 comma y0. Let's substitute the values. y0 की जगह पे 1, h की जगह 0.1, f of 0 comma 1. Is this correct? Clear? Now, in the function of f, in the function f over here, I'll substitute y की जगह पे 1 and x की जगह पे 0. I hope everyone is clear. X की जगह पे 0, y की जगह पे 1. Okay? So when I substitute that, I'll get 1 plus 0.1 multiplied by 1 minus 2 times 0, which is 0, and divided by 1 is also going to give me 0. So you will get this as 1 plus 0.1, which becomes 1.1. यहाँ तक कोई doubt? ये आपका y1 का first iteration हो जाएगा. ये आपका y1 का first iteration हो गया. Okay? Just a minute. This is taken as a 0th iteration, not even the first iteration. This is taken as a 0th iteration. Okay? So this is the first value which I'm now going to improvise. I'm now going to improvise. To improvise the value, we will be using Euler's modified method. Okay? And we'll keep improvising till all the 4 decimals become equal. So let's see how to start with the Euler's modified method. So let's apply the formula. I'll write down the formula first. By Euler's modified method, your n plus 1 kth approximation is h by 2 times f of xn comma yn plus f of xn plus 1. Okay, let me not write this as kth approximation. I'll write it as k plus 1th approximation, comma yn plus 1 kth approximation. Let's not complicate this much. यहाँ पे n की जगह पे and k की जगह पे 0 डाल देंगे. When I put n and k both 0, I'll get y1. I'm trying to find the first approximation. K की जगह 0 डाला तो k plus 1 will become 0 plus 1. H by 2 as it is. F of x0, y0, n की जगह पे we put 0. F of n की जगह 0 डालोगे तो x1, y1 and k की जगह पे 0. I hope this is clear. ठीक है? Okay. Now h की value 0.1 divide by 2. F of 0, 1. These were your values of x0, y0, right? F of 0, 1 plus f of x1 की value हमारी थी 0.1. Okay, how did I get x1 is 0.1, x0 was 0, h is 0.1, x1 is x0 plus h. So this becomes 0.1. And y0 की 0th approximation is here, 1.1. So let's start substituting the values. So I'll get 0.05 when you divide by 2. This, if I substitute in the function, y minus 2x divided by y, I'll get a 1. Plus, इसको जब substitute करोगे तो आपको मिलेगा 1.1 minus 2 times 0.1 divided by 1.1. Is this correct? X की जगह पे 0.1, y की जगह पे 1.1 in the function. Function was y minus 2x divided by y. I hope that is okay. Let's use a calculator. Let's use a calculator. Okay, I cannot expand the screen. If I expand the calculator vanishes. Okay. Fine. Let's use a calculator here. I have 0.05 and then a bracket 1 plus again another bracket 1.1 minus I have a fraction. Okay, the fraction here is to be put like this. Okay, I'll have to put a bracket 2 into your calculator varies. Okay, 0.1. Now I'll put a fraction, that's the denominator, 1.1. Let's close all the brackets.
0.090.
Okay, some mistake on my end. Okay, 0.0959, you got the same value? Okay, perfect, perfect. So that's your first value of y1, means first approximation of y1, okay? First iteration we can call it. Now we'll have to again use a Euler's modified method, but this time k की जगह 1 डालेंगे. Okay, you will use k is equal to 1 and give me a minute. Here, I'll call this as equation number 1. In this equation, I'll put now n remains the same, but this time k will be 1. K will be 1. So your y1 second approximation, k की value 1 है, right? h by 2, f of x0, y0, f of x1, y1 का first approximation we'll use here. So this will now be 0.05. This value we already know is 1. F of your x0 is 0.1 and y0 is now, sorry, y1 is 0.0959. Okay. Substitute 1 plus, put it in the function y minus. So y is 0.0959, 2 times x divided by y1. I hope that's correct, right? Calculate. Okay, I just check the previous value. Is it coming exactly the same? Is it 0.95 or is it 1 point? Okay, my mistake, my mistake. Here. The formula has a y0 plus. The formula has yn plus this. So here you have an extra y0. So you have an extra y0 was 1. So this becomes 1 point. Okay, how did I come to know there is a mistake? Because I found these values very apart. 1.1 कहाँ और 0.0959 कहाँ. Difference ज़्यादा नहीं होता है. It is, bettering the value, so the difference will not be very high. So you'll have to check that, or you'll have to be alert. So this is 1 point. Now use your calculators. And of course, there is a plus y0 here, plus 1 and plus 1 here. And tell me the value. Okay, 0.095 जो भी आ रहा है आपका, उसके आगे एक 1 लगेगा ना? Because there's a plus 1. Can you see the values are differing only by decimal 0.0002? उतना ही difference आ रहा है. Can you see that? Yes. Is it 67 or 57? Anuradha, check please. Okay, हाँ, इसको आप
6, 7.
no. This is 5 decimals, no? What Anuradha has given is 1.09567, no? That is 5 decimals. You'll have to convert it to 4 decimals.
Yes, ma'am.
So 4 decimal में convert करोगे तो 57 हो जाएगा ना? 6 will get rounded off to 7. Okay. So now the values are close, but then they're not exactly the same, and they have not told you after how many steps to stop. So we will now put, okay, this we are doing in equation number 1, okay? In equation number 1, we are putting these values. So now in equation number 1, I'll again put n is equal to 0, but this time I'll put k is equal to 2. So what do you get here? y1, third approximation, y0 plus h over 2, f of x0, y0, plus f of x1, y1, second approximation. So this is 1 plus 0.05. This bracket will have a 1 plus the value of y1, which is 1.0957, minus 2 times 0.1 divided by 1.0957. Use your calculator. Fix your calculator.
1.0956.
56 आ रहा है. फिक्स किया है आपने? Check please. 56 के आगे क्या आ रहा है आदित्य?
5.
565 मतलब राउंड ऑफ करोगे तो 567 हो जाएगा ना? 57 हो जाएगा ना?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct, Ishan. You have to fix your calculator. 1.0957 आ रहा है. Okay, 565, which will get rounded off to 57, no, Anuradha? Correct, no? Now, observe these values. Observe these values. Are they exactly the same? And when you get the values exactly same, that is when you stop the sum. That is when you stop the sum, and you will now write y of 0.1 is 1.0957. Question में यही पूछा था ना, y at 0.1. This is your value of y at 0.1. This was the question of Euler's modified method. I hope this is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
If they ask you y at 0.2, क्या करोगे? इसको स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट लेके पूरा सम वापस रिपीट करोगे। जैसे हमने x0 y0 लिया था 0 एंड 1, अगर y at 0.2 पूछा, इसको स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट लोगे, x0 की जगह 0.1 होगा, y0 की जगह पे 1.0957 होगा, and then again you will repeat the entire sum. I hope both of these methods are very clear. Okay. Now what is remaining is two more methods. One is the Taylor series method and one is the Ranjit-Kutta method of fourth order. And that will complete your module number 6. I'll try to take the lecture tomorrow again at the same time, and we'll try to complete module number 6. I hope this time is feasible for all of you.
Ma'am.
Yes, please.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, fine. So we stop here. You guys can leave. I'll share the recording PDF like last time and the attendance.